Dr. Tushar Patel, welcome to ITV Gold. Thank you so much for giving us your time today.
Thank you so much for getting me back again.
Of course, we need to have you because you are the expert, the senior expert of ITV Gold team. So let's go right into it. First question to you. I'd like to look at some numbers that are coming in today. In the world, we have surpassed 200 million cases of COVID-19 with more than 4 million deaths. In the USA, we are right now here on 35 million cases with at least 614,000 deaths. My question to you is, are we in trouble right now? What is happening with these numbers?
So let me start by saying that after 17 months since the pandemic began, we are at a critical junction of this pandemic with the Delta variant on rise. And very concerning, however, one good news is about 50% of adults are fully vaccinated in the US, 60% receive at least one vaccine, and 80% of people above 65 are fully vaccinated. So that's a good news. However, the concerning thing is the Delta variant in the US and other parts of the world. So I think we are not doing well at this point. Last interview, I mentioned that we are doing good, but I think those things change in the last few weeks.
Right. Could you explain to me why the global number of cases have increased for over a month now? Is it all because of the Delta variant?
All because of Delta variant. And one thing I would like to mention here, only about 13% of the international population are vaccinated at this time. So that's a huge concern for this pandemic.
And you just mentioned about 50% of the US population is now fully vaccinated, which is a great news. But we are always talking about that 70% mark that we need to reach to get herd immunity. Do you think that's going to happen, Dr. Patel? How are you looking at that?
So now the herd immunity or the community immunity will be very challenging because we are at a slow pace. The summer probably will end in few weeks. And with this Delta variant already kicked in, it's going to be a huge challenge to get that herd immunity.
Right. Let's talk about these challenges, doctor. Look at the state, Florida, Louisiana, Texas, Georgia, and a few others that are in the South or Midwest. I'd like to know, what are you hearing from the doctors there? Because I know you have some connections. What is the condition of the hospitals, and have they ran out in some cases?
So they are at the full capacity at this point, and I think the things are not doing great in Alabama, Mississippi, Wyoming, Arkansas, Louisiana. Those states are in big trouble because their vaccination rate is very, very low, and including 28 other states in the US are below average for the vaccination rate. So those states are in trouble because they are reaching to the maximum capacity for their inpatient bed, and I think they started getting those respirators and the ventilators out, and I think they are in the big demand of PPEs as well. So I think we have some few months, next few months is going to be a huge challenge for those states.
I believe one of the states has actually surpassed the death number of New York City, which was once the epicenter. Let's talk a little bit more about these states. I'll have to ask you, who do you blame for this lack of vaccination? And, you know, a lot of these governors of these states are not coming up with any COVID protocol. They are not mandating anything. How dangerous is that?
So since the pandemic began, this entire pandemic in the US became a political game for many states. Some states were doing good, some states were not doing good. They're using the politics. And I think the trust of the people for this vaccination is definitely to be a blame to the government and the political system. So I think we still have a chance to revert back to in this pandemic, but it's going to be very, very challenging.
President Biden has expressed frustration with many Republican governors. What do you think they need to do right now? And could we reach a decent amount of vaccination numbers in these states?
So one good news, within next few weeks, the Pfizer vaccination will be approved by FDA. They will have a full approval. It's going to be a gold seal for this vaccine for the Pfizer. At that point, many states, many industries, many organizations, including government, state government, local government, and many other private firms, they can ask their employee to bring the vaccination proof. So if that happens, I think more and more people will get the vaccine, and we will definitely end this pandemic.
Right, we are talking about a fourth wave in these states. My other question to you is, what is going to happen if the vaccination rates remain this low? Should these states go into a shutdown? Should they be, restricting in areas where there's a lot of public and crowd present? I mean, what do they need to do right now?
So right now, all the indoor activities, they should implement the mask mandate. That's number one. Shutting down would be the last thing we want to do. But like last year, we have to do it. If we come to that point in September, October, when the fall season begins and the winter months begin, we may see that shutdown in partial areas of this country.
Right. When you are looking at other states that are vaccinated, how can these vaccinated states be affected by these other states that do not have that high vaccination rates? Travel is at its best right now in the industry. How do you relate those two?
So right now, because of the summer months, a lot of people are going on vacation, including international travel. And I think those people bring the virus back, the Delta variant back to these states. Those are doing well. And remember one thing as well, that a lot of young kids did not get the vaccine yet because they are in that reluctancy stage. And I think this is a new pandemic of unvaccinated people. Risk to unvaccinated individuals remains very, very high.
Right. What about breakthrough infections, doctor?
Breakthrough infection is the huge concern right now, because I have heard in last few days that people who were fully vaccinated got COVID, they got COVID positive because of their either the immunocompromised status, that they have some comorbid conditions, they're elderly individuals. Those people are all at risk even with the vaccination itself.
Right. Let's now talk about the Delta variant, because I have a lot of questions on it. Could you explain to us why this variant has been so dangerous and what exactly is it doing to the body?
So this Delta variant is causing the pneumonia. The typical time to get the pneumonia is 5 to 7 days. This variant is causing pneumonia rather earlier, maybe in 2-3 days. And that is, the virus is very, very quick to activate in the body. So that is the whole reason this Delta variant is definitely different than what we had last year in 2020 or even earlier January 2021. So I think the Delta variant is very quick in getting the infection. It's very different than the one we used to have before, and it's very deadly.
Young adults who are getting sick severely, again, in some states where there is very low vaccination rates, they're very young. My question to you is, with this variant spreading all across, could they end up in hospitals intubated?
Actually, if you see the data from last week and even this week, about 70,000 young kids are in the hospital at this point. So that is very concerning. They may not be getting the intubation or on ventilation, but there is a possibility if they have some comorbid conditions, they definitely maybe end up in ICU or on ventilation.
Right. What is the age group that you would say these young adults are?
From between 12 and 18.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of people. I also have a question on the Lambda variant. It's starting to spread. What exactly is this variant, and are you worried about it?
So there are, since the pandemic began, there are total 8 different kind of variations happen.
Wow.
The Delta one is the most deadliest one, and there are in my opinion, there may be 2 or 3 more already in this country or in the world which we don't know, and I think it is too early to say what will happen with this other variant.
Do you agree with Pfizer saying that due to the spread of the Delta variant and also the waning off of the vaccine, they will need a booster shot?
Absolutely. In my opinion, I think we will see the booster shot coming either end of the year, early next year, just like we do it for the flu vaccine.
Right. But looking at the booster shot, J&J, Johnson & Johnson has said or recommended people who got the only dose vaccine as it was being promoted, they are saying they should now get a second dose of it. Why is this happening? Because I know the technology is very different from Pfizer, Moderna, and J&J.
So J&J vaccination itself is different from Pfizer because the efficacy of J&J vaccine was lower than Pfizer and Moderna vaccine. So that is the whole reason they're recommending to get the booster shot to fully immunize people with full protection.
Right, there are a lot of rare immunocompromised diseases that are coming up, mainly in children with the vaccine. Could you explain to us what's happening there? Because I believe Pfizer is running trials to figure out what these rare, diseases are.
So there are some cardiac issues happening. Like I said before, the chances of getting those side effects or the adverse effects from the vaccination itself is very, very minimal and very, very low. I would not encourage parents to use that criteria to decide for their kids to get the vaccine or not. They definitely needs to understand that the vaccination benefits are much more higher than the side effects. And some of the side effects are probably not related to vaccine itself.
Okay, just talking more about the vaccine now, I'd like to get your take on one of the biggest news of this week, which is the New York City vaccination mandate. It's not a mask mandate, it's a vaccination mandate. It's where a lot of people indoor in restaurants, gyms, entertainment venues now have to show their vaccination proof at least of 1 dose. What do you have to say about this decision? Is that a wise thing to do right now?
Very, very wise thing to do. And I think it's late, but it's never late to implement public health measures to reduce the spread of the virus. And this is the time we need to take all the precautions and all the measures we can take to get more and more people vaccinated. If we do that, I think we can end this pandemic.
Cities like Chicago right now has come up with the travel advisory for these states that are surging with cases. They are requiring them to either quarantine for 14 days, I believe, if they want to travel into Chicago. Why was this necessary in that city? And also, should other states follow this?
I think most metropolitan cities like New York and Los Angeles and other big cities should implement that, because right now due to summer, a lot of people are traveling from other states. And if we don't take those mitigating steps right now, I think we will see a different picture in September and October when the fall and winter month kicks in. We will have a huge trouble.
But don't you think a mask mandate might be more useful at this point instead of focusing on vaccination only?
Absolutely. So mask mandate, the vaccination efforts, and keeping the same common sense approach we were using before, I think those are the things we need to ensure. Contact tracing with the isolation and quarantine, staying home if you are sick, all those things I think we need to implement right now instead of waiting until the winter months.
Right. Let's now talk about one of my most favorite topics to discuss with medical professionals: children. 12 and up are approved for the vaccine, but the vaccination rates that I'm hearing are very low amongst children. The other younger kids, I believe some trials are being done to figure out, what to give them in terms of doses. How are you looking at this entire process, and how dangerous do you think it could be if these kids do not get the vaccination?
So children between 12 and 18 is the biggest concern right now. The vaccination rate in those group is very, very low. Schools are coming up, opening very soon in some states, and some states definitely by September. If they don't take the vaccination, I think it's going to be very, very difficult for us to control the virus. Although they don't get sick too much, but with the Delta variant, you never know what will happen. So it's very, very important. Kids between 12 and 18 who are eligible right now should take the vaccine as soon as possible, because we are running out of time.
Yeah, exactly. I believe I got a message from New York City today saying that students should get vaccination before a certain date in August so that they're fully vaccinated by the time of fall. So how should this be handled? If enough students are vaccinated, is it safe for them to shed their masks right now, even though the Delta variant is spreading? And how do you think parents are going to take this?
So right now for the school system, the CDC recommends that all people going to the school, including staff, kids and the staff must be masked and have that at least 3 feet physical distancing in the school. They must do that because you never know who is vaccinated and who is not. Unless the schools are asking them to provide the proof of the vaccination, we have to be very consistent and include the mask mandate as well in the school system.
And what about social distancing and other protocols they should take in the school? Because I keep on hearing that we no longer have to do 6 feet, 3 feet is enough.
Yes, 3 feet is enough according to the newer data. So physical distancing at least 3 feet in the classroom. But the most important thing right now for the school for the prevention strategy is promoting vaccination for all kids and staff, consistent with the message, correct mask use, physical distancing, screening testing to identify cases and clusters and outbreaks, appropriate ventilation in the school system, hand washing and restriction of those certain activities, staying home when sick, all those kind of things. We have been doing it for past 17-18 months. I think those are the most common sense approach we need to start using now.
Do you personally perhaps think that the school should have a hybrid model for concerned parents?
So, it is very difficult because after missing 2020 school year in almost 21, it's very difficult for the kids to cope with the online learning. A lot of minority communities are suffering, including African Americans and Hispanics, in the distance learning. So I think it's very, very important that the school should be open with all the prevention and mitigating steps to protect the staff as well as the kids.
More on schools, Florida Governor DeSantis actually is prohibiting schools from mandating masks. We're hearing other Republican leaders might be doing the same. Question to you, is this right at all?
That is totally wrong, and I usually don't like to criticize the governors for their own state, but right now, instead of creating an environment, the safe environment for the kids, the governor is not doing the job to protect his constituent.
What's your personal message to these governors?
Personal message is listen to the public health officials, use the common sense approach. We got this now for almost a year and a half. We are doing this and we were very successful. We need to implement those steps regardless of the politics, red states or the blue states. We need to ensure that we take care of these mitigating steps right now and do the right thing for our citizens to protect and save lives.
2 more questions left for you, Dr. Patel. The first one is, what are you saying about South Asians at high risk? Again, we always discuss that people with diabetes, lung diseases, cholesterol, heart diseases, very common in our community. What's your advice to them, and how much can this Delta variant affect them?
So one good news is that the South Asians received the vaccination. The vaccination rate in South Asians is pretty high. Is almost the same as Caucasians. So that's a good news. However, if you have a comorbid conditions, if you're a diabetic, cardiovascular disease, if you're immunocompromised, if you have a kidney disease, if you have cancer, you must wear the mask for indoor. Don't go to the big gatherings. Stay home. Do virtual things. You can go for a walk, you can go for outdoor activities individually, but don't go in public places, indoor setting especially, without mask.
Right. Quite interestingly, former President Obama was about to have a birthday party with 400 people outside for his 60th birthday, but then it has been changed and they're going to reduce the numbers. Hopefully that helps them. Last question, what is your prediction for this month and the next month? And also, I'd like to know your prediction for India as well.
So prediction for the US for this month, August and September, if we don't reach, we still need 100 million people to be vaccinated. If we don't reach at least 50-60% from those population, we will definitely see a different kind of fall and winter months. We will probably remember 2020, what happened. And predictions for India, I think is going to be the same. People need to understand that the virus is still here. Virus is still here in many countries with too much viral load in the current virus going on, and if we don't take the appropriate steps to prevent the occurrence of the infection, we definitely have a huge outbreak again in India as well.
For all our viewers, vaccines.gov is the website. You can find a location and go get your shot. Dr. Patel, thank you so much for your time today on ITV Gold.
Thank you so much, as always, for bringing me to discuss this important topic.
Of course.